This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm at Wembley Stadium today, joined by Adam Smith, the Joshua Povetkin press conference. Good day today,
Beautiful
Adam.
day.
Yeah.
Lovely day,
Glorious,
isn't
it?
Let's have this on September the 22nd, please.
Yeah. Yeah, so we saw Eddie announce 2 fight dates for Joshua, both at Wembley Stadium. Obviously, 22nd of September and April 13th. Let's talk about the 22nd.
Yeah.
Alexander Povetkin, former gold medalist, just like Anthony, and a former world champion. So a real live opponent for Anthony.
I think Alexander Povetkin's the 3rd best heavyweight on the planet, after Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. And obviously, there's going to be speculation as to what order that is. I think Anthony's got 4 of the belts, Deontay's got 1, and Alexander Povetkin wants to win not only his WBA back, but he wants to clean the lot up. He's a dangerous fighter, mandated. Robert Kraken, interestingly, at the press conference, said he would have taken him even if it wasn't for the mandatory. And I think he sees this fight as a real learning fight for Anthony. I think it's the hardest fight since the Klitschko one here in April last year, no doubt about that. And I think he brings a lot to the table, Povetkin. He's not just got pedigree, wonderful pedigree, of his Olympic gold medal, his world championship success, his double European success. What is it, 34 wins in 35 as a pro, only that loss to Vladimir Klitschko. But he brings a style, I think, that's different as well. You know, Dillian Whyte gave AJ some problems with that left hook, with that sort of hustle bustle, and that second round especially. And I think, you know, if Joshua's not absolutely on his game, I think Povetkin could be a real handful. So I see it as a real hard fight, a dangerous fight, one that I expect Joshua to come through. But I think it's, you know, it's one he's got to be absolutely bang on for.
Yeah, you mentioned sort of the Dillian Whyte fight, and really, apart from the Klitschko fight where Anthony was down, we haven't really seen him in much trouble bar that Dillian Whyte fight. So this style we could see Anthony in sort of more issues again. Absolutely.
I mean, he comes to fight Povetkin. He's got the qualities to box, but he can't box at range against a big guy like Joshua. You know, he's going to have to get inside. And you know, we was talking about Bo and Holyfield in there, AJ, and you know, he's got a huge height and reach advantage over Povetkin. He's going to have to bury inside, but he's quick still. You know, he's advancing in age, but he's still got speed and he's got power. You know, we saw him knock out David Price. He's taken out Mike Perez. He stopped Carlos Takam the same time that Joshua did it. So yeah, look, and he's really hungry, and he's got a big team around him. Nothing to lose for Povetkin, and I think he's not going to freeze on this sort of stage. He's been around the world. You know, he's fought in the Principality, and he's fought as an amateur everywhere. And he's got the hopes of Russia behind him. You know, and I think that's a big thing. They've had a terrific World Cup, and now they're looking for the next sporting success. And they believe Povetkin's going to clean up and knock Anthony Joshua out. So Rob McCracken's got to do his homework, and Joshua's going to have a very sensible and steady camp, and they have to bring the right sparring partners in. But yeah, I see Povetkin as a real tough obstacle.
What did you sort of make of Povetkin's win against David Price? Just his general performance?
I thought David Price boxed really well while he was in there. And you know, with him, it's always the sadness that he can't quite get the job done when he's shown the potential first. I mean, he wobbled Povetkin in there, so that's going to give Joshua a lot of positivity. However, he got the job done, and he sparked Price out. And I think Price wants to fight on. He wants to come again from it, and I think it was almost like a last hurrah for him. But I think he performed, maybe even in defeat, better than he thought he would. And he gave Povetkin real trouble. But you know, Povetkin got the job done, and that's what matters. And now he's got himself into this mandatory position. Let's not talk about Wilder for a while. Let's talk about Alexander Povetkin here. 90,000 people, September the 22nd. It's another big night for world boxing.
I think Anthony touched on it in the presser. He said for like the last 3 or 4 fights, it always seems to be a fight outside the ring, with someone trying to get in line to fight him, like we saw with Miller yesterday. What did you sort of make of all those antics yesterday from Miller? I
mean, look, you know, boxing these characters, you know, sometimes they get a little too far. They go a little beyond the line. But ultimately, Gerald Miller is a great talker, and he wants to publicise himself. He's part of Eddie's stable. He's undefeated. He's a New Yorker. There's lots to like about him. Out of the ring, in the ring, he keeps winning. He's got a strange style. You know, you're not quite sure what to make of him. Obviously, Joshua Wilder, you know, a level or 2 or 3 above what Gerald Miller's done so far, but you know, Miller's in the mix. And you know, we're hoping to get him over next week to be involved in the Dillian Whyte Joe Parker build-up. And as I said, he's a good talker, and he's a fun guy to be around. So look, you know, he wants the shot. They all do. They're lining up. And if April the 13th is not the Deontay Wilder matchup we want, if Dillian wins next weekend, he could be in line for a rematch. It could be Gerald Miller. There could be all sorts. So he's just keeping himself in the picture. But you know, Joshua's heard all that before, hasn't he?
Yeah, you mentioned Dillian there. Obviously, if Wilder doesn't sign the contract for the 13th, Dillian could be one of the opponents. But obviously, let's talk about the 28th.
Great fight.
A great fight against Joseph Parker.
Great fight, and the right fight at the right time for both of them. I think Parker needs redemption. I think he's got to come in and show more ambition than he did in Cardiff. Whether he was just a bit happy to come a good second. I sort of felt that a little bit in the build-up. Last time Kevin Barry talked well and they said everything had gone spot on. But I think he fought like he was really glad to go 12 rounds. I don't think he sort of, you know, put his hands on those titles, and maybe, you know, you give credit to Joshua for not allowing him to, but I wonder if he went back and sort of kicked himself a little bit. Maybe he just wasn't good enough, but I think he let himself down slightly, and I think he wants to come back and right that wrong. And Dillian Whyte's the guy he's got in front of him. With Dillian, great win over Lucas Brown. Yes, Lucas Brown was slow and plodding, but ultimately Dillian was back. His body looked good again. His left hand was working fantastically well. His momentum is good. He loves the challenge. You know, you probably lean slightly towards Dillian with the home advantage and the rhythm that his career's going in. But it's a pick-em, isn't it? I don't know about you, but my team's totally split down the middle of who wins that one. It's a great fight, and we can't wait for it. July 28th at the O2 is going to be a terrific build-up next week.
Another pick-em, Chisora v Takam.
Yeah, Chisora Takam's a good, solid chief support, isn't it? You know, Derek, you never know what you're going to get. You're always going to get a bit of controversy, a bit of bravado. With Carlos Takam, you do know what you're going to get. You're going to get a hard, solid, strong guy in front of you who keeps on coming. Should be another cracker for the fans. It really should be. You had the likes of Katie Taylor and Joshua Boatty and Conor Benn and Fowler and loads on the card. I think it's going to be a phenomenal night. It's a great summer one, isn't it? And we can all sort of, well, we've got the next gen on August the 4th with Cordina and Masha, of course, in Cardiff. But then we can all sort of, you know, just dust ourselves down a little bit, start preparing for this. Khan in Birmingham as well, September the 8th. All the shows we're going to get from the partnership with Matchroom and DAZN, terrific through October, November, December. It's fun times in boxing. It's booming, and as Anthony said in the press conference today, you know, it's I don't think there's been a better time. It's absolutely terrific.
No, and yeah, if you said that everyone's come together sort of and pushing boxing so forward.
It's a small family in boxing. We need everybody working together. You know, the competition's fantastic over on BT, Channel 5 in as well. You know, got DAZN streaming in the States. They're competing with the likes of Showtime and HBO, the big boys. There's ESPN as well, and you know, it's great. It's great to have a lot of people interested in boxing. And over here, we've got a great lineup for the rest of the year. But then we know that there's the likes of Carl Frampton and Tyson Fury and all the others on BT as well. It's great. Josh Taylor doing terrifically well as well. It's a fantastically healthy sport, and it's great to see so many kids wanting to come. My kids want to come and see AJ. They're inspired, you know, and they do. The kids want to get to the gyms. They want to look up to their heroes, and they're becoming heroes again. The fighters, you know, whether it's Katie Taylor with the women, whether it's Anthony Joshua, it's terrific. They're great role models, and long may it continue.
Well, appreciate your time, Adam.
No
I'm
problem.
sure we'll catch up with you during Whyte Parker fight week. But for now, thanks for talking to IFL.
No problem at all.